Hi yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to my yoga time. Thanks for joining me today. Another short and sweet yoga snack for you. An excellent class for any time of the day, especially in the morning. So we'll be doing a little bit of strengthening, a little bit of stretching, and of course some mindfulness. So I do have a yoga block for this class. You can practice without the block, but if you do have one at home, certainly have it close by. And also a strap, a yoga strap. So if you don't have the strap, you can improvise with a belt or a scarf, anything you can loop around the foot. And let's begin. Come down onto your back. Make sure you can reach those props. We're going to take a reclined tree pose with a side bend. So straighten and relax your left leg, bend your right knee and allow that knee to come out to the side. If your knee and hip need support, you can always position that prop underneath. We're going to bring a side bend in here as well. So lift head and shoulders off the mat, hinge over to the right side. And if your shoulders are happy enough, take the arms above the head. A little bit stronger if you interlace the fingers and use the palms as a pillow. And we're only here for a few breaths. Gently place the tip of the tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. Begin to feel a little tone in the back of your throat. And breathing a little deeper into the left side waist, into the lower belly and the hips. And we'll take one more breath here. At the top of the inhalation, pause, hold the breath for just a moment or two. And then exhaling slowly. Return the upper body back to the center of the mat. Lift up the right leg. Taking a hold of your strap now. Little hamstring stretch. We'll take the strap around the ball of the foot and reaching up towards the ceiling. So if your back is a little niggly this morning or today, just bend that left leg. Keep the sole of the foot on the floor. Otherwise, the leg is straight. Keeping the tongue in the same position, maintaining that softness in the jaw. And feel as though you're breathing into the right leg. Continue to pause at the top of each inhalation. And you can either stay here for the last few breaths, otherwise take the strap in the right hand only, left hand to the left thigh, and just allow the leg to come out to the side. Then when you inhale next, slowly come back to center. We'll do two more. And then as you come back to center for this last time, let's release the strap and change sides, same sequence. So right leg straightening, left knee bending. Lift head and shoulders up off the mat, hinge over to the left. Welcome the breath in the side waist. Feeling the inhalation expand the body and press upon those lines of tension. In all of our postures, whether they are restorative or a little stronger, we want to always feel a spacious inhalation. Let's come back to center, taking your hamstring stretch now. And enjoying the last few moments here in these passive holds We're going to fire up the practice very soon. If you did so on the other side, take the strap in the left hand and take the leg out to the side. Moving with the breath. Well done, yogis. Let's release the strap. Coming up to seated now, you can either roll to your side or you can hug those knees into the chest and rock and roll your way up. So coming up onto all fours into tabletop. And if you do have that yoga block, let's take a hold now, a little bit of strengthening work for those shoulders. So block on the flat side, and then we're coming down onto our forearms and we're squeezing the block in between the hands. So there's two actions here. We're squeezing in and we're pressing down. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Drop the head and broaden the shoulders. Continue to squeeze the block and press the hands down. Now you can stay here or you can tuck those toes under and lift up the hips, coming into your dolphin pose. Maintaining that action through the palms, but sending your armpits towards your thighs. Again, check the position of your tongue and the softness in your jaw. Listen for the sound of your breath rolling over the back of the throat. And let's step those feet back, come down into a forearm plank. So you'll feel the upper back round and tuck the tailbone under just a little. Of course, if you need to lighten this, come down onto your navel, into your Sphinx pose. And let's bring the belly down. Just move the block to the side. Reach the hands out in front for your Superman Cobra. So a little activation here. We're trying to guide the hands back towards the feet. And let's relax. Hands under shoulders, press back up to tabletop. So positioning those hands as wide as the mat, pinky fingers to meet the edges of the mat, and just have your block on the high side at the top so it's ready there in just a few moments. When you're ready, drop the belly, inhale, little back bend. As you exhale, round the spine and then lift up those hips, downward facing dog. Let's raise the right leg straight away. You can either keep the hips square and the legs straight, otherwise lift up the right hip, bend the knee, point the knee up towards the ceiling. Pressing into the pads of the fingers and kicking away through that right foot. Next inhalation, straighten the legs, square the hips and step that foot through into a high lunge. Have the feet about hip width apart and press into both feet as you bring the arms up. So bend the elbows, cactus arms, and feel as though you're stretching the mat with your feet. Here, let's find our back bend. And then as we exhale, bring the forearms forward, round the upper back. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, around. And then this time, cactus arms is option one. Otherwise, we'll interlace those fingers behind the body, straightening the arms, strong and straight in that back leg. Chin lift, throat forward. Let's lean forward. A few baby steps in if you need to with that back foot, and then a warrior three. We'll keep the hands in the same position if you can. So you're lifting the heart. And engaging those muscles along the spine. Well done, yogis. Bring the hands to the hips, lower that left foot back down. So let's take those feet a little bit wider than what we would normally do. So minimum at hip width, maximum mat width apart. So nice and wide. Little micro bend in that front knee. Let's inhale, left arm up. And as you exhale, reach forward. Stop halfway. And then from here, bring the hand all the way down. And this is where you can reach for your block. So we're taking a slightly different variation of our revolved triangle. You'll feel here with those feet wider that the right hip is higher, and that's what we want. You can lower that block if you like. From here, roll your left shoulder in, the torso will turn to the side, and again that right hip will feel a little bit higher. Let's keep the right hand on the low back today. Either look back to the shoulder or down towards the palm, and find a spacious breath. From here, let's lower that right hand down, reach the right hand back towards your left thigh. Your left hand can stay on the block, or you can bring that hand to the floor. And from here, let's come into lizard pose. Bend the right knee, lower the hands down. You can use the block here if you're quite tight through the hips. Only here for a short time, otherwise a little twist, right hand to the right thigh, or reach back and take a hold of that left foot. Kick the foot into the hand if you have it. Let's find a little back bend here. Press down through the right foot. And let's release, downward facing dog. Left leg up. Option to stay there or lift the hip, bend the knee. Straightening the leg, step through, high lunge. Coming all the way up in cactus arms. Pressing into both feet, and as you exhale, round the spine, arms forward. Inhale, back bend. Last one. Either holding your cactus arms or interlace those fingers, deepen the back bend. Steady the breath. Warrior 3. Hands to the hips, lower the right foot back down. Take the feet wider, either hip width or mat width. Have your block ready. Micro bend in the front knee, right arm up. Let's press the feet away from one another as you hinge forward, pausing halfway. Lower the hand down. Begin to turn your right shoulder in. Feel the left hip lift a little, that's okay. And let's keep that left hand nice and low. Deepen the breath to deepen the pose. Let's lower that left hand down, reach back for your right thigh, and if you like, right hand can come to the floor. Lizard pose, lower the hips down, right knee to the mat. Option to take a twist or option to take a quad stretch. Be with your breath. Well done, yogis. Last downward facing dog. Let's take a deep inhalation, and as you exhale, heart out the breath. Let's do another. And let's come forward into plank position. Bring those shoulders just in front of the wrists. Of course, you can bring your knees to the mat. Let's round the upper back, elbows into the ribs as you chaturanga down, and we'll roll straight over onto your back. Once on your back, bending those knees, having the feet fairly close towards the hips, and then press into both feet, bridge pose, lift those hips up. Feel the weight transfer to the head, the shoulders, tractioning through the feet. Either keep the palms as they are or interlace those fingers and tuck the shoulders under. Let's lift up those heels, release the hands, and slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Touching down to the mat, let's lift up the feet, stack the knees above the hips, imprint your lower back, and then lift head and shoulders. Reach the fingers to the back of the mat. And let's lower down. Bring your knees and your ankles together and just trace little figure of eights through those knees. And take as long as you need to there. When you're ready, lower down into Savasana. And we'll just rest here for a short time to allow the positive effects of your practice to assimilate in the body. As you close the eyes down, soften the forehead, the tongue and jaw. Take a deep inhalation and pause. And as you exhale, give in to gravity. Soften into the space around you, into the mat beneath you. Let's inhale now a little deeper into your spacious body. Inhale, peace. Exhale, release. Inhale, peace. Exhale, release. And in your own time, wiggling those toes and fingers, following any urges to move or stretch. Thank you for practicing with me today, yogis. I hope that you enjoyed that short class. If you do have any class requests, feel free to make them in the comment section below. The intention of this channel is to help cultivate your home practice. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Have a lovely day.